today's fast food toy is a blast from the past because what I'm going to show you today is one really old, antiquated fast food toy back in the 80s. It's one of the mascot of Jollibee, and she's called Hetty. Hello, this is Hetty. So these are the toys that were given back in the 80s. They're so simple. It's rubberized Hetty singing. I think they're doing some carolings or something like that. Yeah. So as you can see, Hetty here is holding her musical book. Hetty. There's not much articulation. It's a rubberized toy. Yeah, a tad squeaky, but it's harder than the squeaky toys that we are probably familiar with. And then also, some of the toys, although lacking the articulation that we would have wanted with the toys, are quite pragmatic because they are very useful. Like, for example, this particular toy of Hattie is actually uh, a sharpener. Okay, it can sharpen both crayons and pencils. Okay, isn't it neat? Well, other than being a sharpener, I think it can also be, especially if the sharpener is no longer as sharp as it once was, you can always use it as a pencil topper so that when you write, you have Hattie here as even as a company as you write all your lectures or all your notes in schools. Okay, Happy was one of the more popular mascots of Jollibee back in the 80s. I just don't know why they kind of semi-retired her because nowadays we don't see Happy anymore as part of the promotional mascots of Jollibee. What remained are Yum, uh, Popo. We also have Jollibee, of course, Hetty, and Twirly. But some of the other characters, like for example, Miss Chickie here. Have I mentioned Miss Chickie? This is actually Miss Chickie. Okay, I think I am kind of mentioning her as Hetty. This is Miss Chickie. So Miss Chickie were kind of retired as of the moment, as well as Lady Mood, the Champ, and the other guy, Miko, because they're no longer serving milkshakes. Although Jollibee is still serving chicken, I think they kind of decided not to put chicken there, the Miss Chickie there, because it's scaring a lot of kids. Like, for example, they see Miss Chickie and they're serving really crispy Jollibee chicken joy. So they can only surmise that these are Miss Chickie's all deep fry. Okay, so that's probably one of the reasons why they kind of retired her as a very appropriate mascot for Jollibee. Okay, it's quite a little sad because Chickie is one really, really strong character. Well, aside from being a feathery, very funny character, she's also quite a diva. She's a singer. I remember one time going to a concert in San Fernando, and the Jollibee characters went as a front act to Ariel Rivera and Smoky Mountain back-to-back concert, and I was so mesmerized by their performance. And yeah, so Miss Chickie here is quite a diva, and back in the 80s, Whitney Houston was one of the biggest newcomers, new singers, new divas back in that day. And I think she kind of belted out one song of Whitney Houston. And I remember quite vividly Miss Chickie doing her, uh, stint as a Whitney Houston and singing all at once. And so I've always remembered Miss Chickie here, somewhat like a Whitney Houston wannabe back in the 80s. And so, as a fitting tribute to this wonderful character, this wonderful toy from the 80s, like I said, blast from the past, I would like to dedicate this song to Miss Chickie and to a wonderful artist that will always be um, very influential and very significant in our music industry. Whitney Houston. Took a moment and I'm realizing that you're not coming back. And it finally hit me all at once. All at once. I started counting teardrops and at least a million fell. My eyes began to swell, and all my dreams are shattered all at once. Ever since I met you, you're the only love I know. And I can't forget you, I must face it all alone. All at once, I'm drifting all alone to see. Wish you come back to me, and it's all that matters now. All at once, I'm drifting all alone to see. Holding on to memories, and it hurts me more than you know. So much more than it shows. All at once, I looked around and found that you were with another love in someone else's arms. And all my dreams are shattered all at once. All at once. That smile that used to greet me right in someone else's day. She took her smile away, and now just memories all at once. Ever since I met you, you're the only love I know, and I can't forget you. I must face it all alone. All at once, I'm drifting all alone to see. Wish you'd come back to me, and it's all that matters now. All at once, I'm drifting all alone to see. Holding on to memories, and it hurts me more than you know. So much more than it shows. All at once, all at once, I'm drifting on a lonely sea, holding on to memories, and it hurts me more than you know. So much more than it shows. All at once.